Hello and welcome to another episode of So Fly. It's the middle of, it's the end of March. Wow, I can't believe it's the end of March. Spring is here, Aldo.
Oh my God, it's 5 degrees outside and the sun is shining. And Yilma, you look great.
I do.
My name,
Question mark.
my name is. We're recording a really special show today down at. Well, first of all, my name is Mitch. We've got Yelma here, as you heard.
Hi, everyone.
We got Aldo.
Hey,
And we got to do that. We always do that. We have to do that. You know what I mean?
little intros? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice. Everybody knows who's here.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing another show today down at Drift Outfitters in Toronto.
A live recording?
Yeah.
We're in the store. Rob's here. Hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
He'll be on the show a little bit later. And what are we doing today, Mitch?
We're going to be talking about the fishing season, which is right around the corner, and we're going to interview people that come in and want to be interviewed. We're going to talk to Rob. We're going to talk to Chris. We're going to talk to Jack, and we're just going to hang out. It's nice, like I said. It's spring. It's a nice day. Fishing's coming up.
Fishing's coming up, and I'm pumped. This sunshine has got me pumped for sure. I need to tie flies.
Mm-hmm.
I always say I'm going to tie flies all winter long, and then I just never do it.
You should tie flies.
You should tie flies.
I mean, like, I'm going to tie flies. I just mean, like, I'm always like, this is the year I'm going to be prepped.
I know. I always say that too.
I only said it once, and it was this year.
And you prepped?
Are you going to go shopping today while we're here?
No. Yeah, I bought a hat.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
What
wow.
hat
I bought
did
a new
you buy?
Sims hat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What hat did you buy? A Sims hat. Yeah.
That's
Sims-
a little buy local Sims hat.
That's a
Buy
nice
a
hat.
local. Think globally, buy a locally.
Yelma,
Oh.
you're looking so fly.
You are looking so fly.
Okay.
Yilma, what's your
I have other strengths.
what's your fishing?
No, you don't.
You don't really.
Okay.
They're all looks.
Smell isn't everything.
Tall glass of water. I'm gonna fish ya.
So we're gonna be chatting to people about the season coming up, maybe their hopes, their dreams, their goals. But Yilma, what's a goal for you this season?
Well-
It starts in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to catch. I mean, I caught my first sort of native brown on the credit last August, but this would be my first 20-inch brown I want to catch for
Whoa.
Whoa.
yeah, for trout opener. That's my goal. Well, that and tying flies, of course.
Shit.
Right.
That's your goal this year?
Yeah, those are the two
A
things.
20-inch brown.
20-inch brown, yeah.
That's a pretty good goal. Yeah, I think you can make that.
I like that goal.
I think you can make that
Yeah,
happen.
I think so.
Mitch?
If Joe could do it.
Well, Joe's putting in some time.
Yeah,
Joe's
no.
put in some time.
Mitch, what's your fishing goal looking ahead to
You know what?
April?
That's a good one, Yelma. 20-inch brown. Like the thing is, like trout fishing, it's technical. It's tricky. I'm not like amazing at it yet,
Neither am I.
but I enjoy it a lot, and I think that I want to get better at my trout fishing because we've got great trout water around here, as we talked about many a times. So I think I want to hook into. I want to get a big old. I want to get a 60-inch brown and be in the paper. Have my face in the paper.
in the Toronto Star.
In the Toronto Star.
On a barbless hook.
Local
of course.
boy catches 60-inch brown trout.
It's bigger than him.
But I don't know. Yeah, I think I just want to tighten up my trout techniques.
and like what?
Yeah.
Like dry flies, nymphs, like or everything.
Dry flies for sure.
Okay, yeah,
Nymphs for sure. Streamers
for sure.
for sure.
I don't know. I
Dry fly fishing for sure.
my
yeah.
streamer game is terrible. I'm better at nympher, dry fly, fisher.
So you want to work on your streamer game?
Yeah. I think I
Ooh,
gotta-
I love streamer fishing.
Well, dry flies like you did well with Tricos last year.
yeah, I did.
That was
I
a good
did.
hatch.
Yeah, that was a good hatch.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I want to do that again.
Yeah,
That is a fun one.
Yeah.
But that's later. That's
late
later.
July, right?
yeah.
Yeah, August. Yeah, that's later. But yeah, no, it's gonna be good. And I think another thing is just like we got a bunch of trips coming up, so I want to like explore,
Yeah,
make the most of those trips. You know what I mean?
definitely. I think. For
For me, what's
you know,
yours? What's your thing?
My thing?
Yeah, what do you?
I
wanna
think
do this
last year, looking back to last year, it was like, when we had Tripp and Olivia and all these people on, and they were talking about these rivers we've never been to, and Jeff and Alex Parks.
Yeah.
And then we actually went and fished these rivers. That was really cool. So I think keep exploring would be my main goal.
That's a good goal.
That would be my main
Yeah.
my main fish goal is just keep exploring Southern Ontario because there's so many. I really like. I didn't fish the Saugeen much, but the 2 times that I did last year, I've like really fell in love with it. So if I can get out there again, that would be a fish goal for me this year. That would be my fishy.
Can I come with you?
Yeah, man.
Okay, awesome.
I mean, yeah, there's so much water to find. to
Yeah, there's so
explore.
much because there's like it's a trout fishery, it's a bass fishery, there's muskie. There's
Yeah.
there's many things you can do.
Ooh, muskie. That'd be a good one too.
Steelhead, of course, as well.
That'd be a
Oh,
good
hey,
one.
look, it's Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris. We'll have you on We'll have you on in a bit.
Chris is coming on.
Yeah,
Chris is going to tell us about what his
fishing goals
fishy
for this
goals
year.
for
are.
this
What
year.
about that other tall guy? Is he gonna come on?
Jack's
Jack's
gonna come
coming
on.
on.
He's gonna talk about his
Jack's gonna
fishing
be on.
goals too.
Yeah,
Jack's gonna be on.
Jack, you do too much. Volleyball, tennis, fly fishing,
He's
scuba diving.
You
And
might-
he's only in high school.
Maybe call him the Jack of many
Oh,
many
actually.
trades.
Oh man,
Eh? What do you think of that, Yama?
I love it.
Jack doesn't love it. Actually, there's an ulterior goal as Yilma and I are getting our Mitchie. You've got it already. We're getting our scuba license.
Are you guys going to do that?
Yeah, yeah. We've made a pact.
When?
I thought it was May.
May. I think there's a course
May,
in
June.
May. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah.
May was.
While you're in
Whoa.
Scotland.
Yo, do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We are.
That's gonna be
Lake
sick.
Erie, right?
Yeah. Something
Yeah.
like yeah.
Oh, Lake Erie. That's where my
Yeah.
cousin and my uncle did it. Lake Erie's great.
Yeah, I think that's where it was.
Cool.
I got
Because then we can shoot some underwater stuff too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
good.
cool?
Mm-hmm. Be all prepared for Tulum,
Oh, true.
Belize,
Yo,
Tobago,
Yo.
Keys.
Tulum.
Florida Keys.
Guys, we're going to Tulum in October
Yeah,
to fish and explore.
we should do scuba there.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And Holly, we gotta bring Holly because Holly,
Scuba's as well,
who's
yeah.
a shooter,
Hi,
of
Holly.
a friend of ours, is
Yeah.
a scuba diver and is becoming certified in underwater film
Hi, Holly.
shooting.
Yeah, she's good.
So that'd be sick.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Scuba diving, good. Okay, well,
Yeah, so those are my non-fish and fish goals. So streamers, eh? What about
Yeah.
streamers got you jacked, Yilma?
I just don't know how.
Oh.
Well, I mean, Rob, gave me some tips and whatever, but I don't have the experience in streamers. I think,
you mean with streamers when it comes to trout?
yeah, when it comes to trout.
Because like you streamer fish all the time.
Yeah, for bass and whatever.
Pike and everything.
Pike, yeah. But for trout, especially,
Yeah.
I just haven't had. I mean, I feel like nymphing. I got the technical stuff down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got it by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Aldo, for teaching me.
Yeah.
Last summer.
And then dry fly. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yoma's holding his headphones, so now I'm holding my headphones.
Oh, I
So
didn't
it's
even
all-
realize I was holding my
He's
headphones.
holding on like he's trying to keep earmuffs on in a blizzard.
DJ Yilma.
What is he doing? Is he like gonna just get up and leave or something?
Oh, I hate you.
You know what's cool about streamer fishing is especially for brown trout, because brown trout, they are so territorial, and they like their, especially the bigger ones will keep and jockey their, keep their position. Whereas like with streamer fishing, it's not even, you can work a run really quickly, and like you can move fish even, like they might just swipe at it, but then you can be like, oh well, now I know there's a, let's say you walk a kilometer of the river walking downstream with your streamers, you might hook one, you might land one, great, but you'll probably move more than you hook and you land. But then you can come back with a nymph or a dry fly and really go over that spot technically. So even it's a really great way to when you show up to a river, a new river even, and
Cover water.
you don't really know what's going on because maybe it's new, or maybe the water's higher than you're used to, or whatever. Or even if it's your favorite stream, you walk down the river throwing streamers at cover or whatever, and then if you move fish, you're like, oh, then you make a little mental note. Oh, I remember there's a trout behind that log. I remember there's a trout behind that boulder. Oh, that cut with the lawn chair on the on the person's lawn.
Yeah.
Now I know there's fish there, so maybe you don't hook them, you move them, you come back, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna see if a nymph will work. I'm gonna see if a dry fly will work, or I'll wait until the hatch later on this evening because I know somebody's home. At least you
Yeah.
know they're home.
Yeah.
You just don't know what they want for dinner.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew that sort of.
That's you do now.
You do
Oh
that?
yeah, when Mitch and I first started fishing together on the Grand, we spooked a big 20-inch brown. Remember? And I screamed, I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
sea monster! Right? And then, yeah, we could have came back to that spot, but we didn't.
It was a weird one because it was like middle of the day and it was just a
It
giant.
was hot too.
Yeah, it was just a giant cruising brown, but I think he was going between spots per chance.
Yeah.
'Cause it was like a big flat.
Yeah, it was super flat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, no, you know what would be cool too, actually, this year, which is like, I've never, Yilma, can you fix your necklace? It's stressing me out. I think that it'd be really cool this year. And in the past, I've always said like, I never want to do this, or I never want to fish this species, but I think it'd be really cool to go for carp.
Yeah,
Ooh.
100%. But
Yeah.
why didn't you want to?
Yeah.
I just never have wanted to. I just don't really like think I wanna like fish like catch a carp. I just don't think I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Why? Let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about this, Mitch. So, Mitch, you hate carp. Why?
I want to go and catch a carp this year because like.
Oh, you don't hate it?
No, well, I don't know. They kind of weird me out, carp. Like the way they look into your soul. You know,
They've
They've
big
just
beady eyes.
they've got the eyes that just look straight into your mind, man. They freak me out. And then their mouth, you know, friggin' like their little whiskas.
I know.
They're kind of weird.
But we have some of the biggest carp
I know.
on Earth here.
Yeah, and they're cool. Like there's like the thing is like they're cool in their own way. And yeah, I mean everybody we talk to is like, man, you gotta go for carp. What are you talking about? You don't like carp? They're like bonefish, but just like fresh water.
Yeah, Mark, who also works in the shop, he takes his stand-up paddleboard to Tommy Thompson Park and sight fishes for them, almost like he's on a flat.
That's pretty rad.
So you want-
Carp from a paddleboard would be really fun.
It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, just getting pulled around.
Just get towed. You could like surf.
You would for sure get towed.
You could like surf with them.
Yeah.
Carp surfing.
It'd be cool. I think I'd want to do it. I tried to catch a carp actually way back when I was a kid. I was down in London, and also another time in Simcoe.
Yeah.
And I was fishing the rivers, and there was giant carp, and I was trying to catch them, and they would kind of go up my fly and then swim away. Like I couldn't stick one.
They're crazy selective, and they have a really good nose. There's also a good carp population in the Grand. You always see them like swimming by like
Yeah.
these little football submarines kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is
Yuma,
really
do you want to catch a carp?
I do want to catch a carp. Yeah.
Really?
I never not wanted to. Never wanted to. Sort of indifferent.
Oh yeah.
But I just confused the whole question there, didn't I?
No, you just said you're indifferent to catching one.
Yeah, but I also said I did want to. So it's like.
So which is it?
So what do
then?
I want?
Now you tell me.
Let me think.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to catch a carp.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
When should we go?
We should go.
Is there a carp season?
Oh, that's a good question.
Can you just go catch them anytime?
Well,
you
we
want?
went.
There must be, right?
We went in the.
Be
We
kinda
went in June.
sad if
We
there
went in
wasn't.
June on the Grand last time, so we should just do that. I don't know. And anybody out there, just let us know.
I mean, we'll just check that. I'll just check the regulations
Google it.
in just a second. But no, yeah,
But yeah, you can
we're
catch
so
them.
with so much focus on trout season. Yeah, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
are they?
Are they what?
Are these guys protected?
Yeah, they might. Like, hopefully they are. Cause I'm kind of sad.
These
if
poor
they
little
weren't.
carp.
Yeah.
We'll adjust your levels, so
Yeah.
you don't have to get super close, but getting close. You can hear
Yeah.
us, yeah.
Yeah. Get in kind of like. Yeah. You don't have to be too close.
Hey guys,
Like that's too close.
I'm
Like,
eating
this
the
is
mic.
good. This is good. Like this. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And you can push it up too if you
How
want.
you doing?
If it's like not the right height.
What is it called?
Yeah,
Is
there
it
you go.
ASR?
That's good. Yeah.
Is it ASR?
ASMR.
ASMR. What does that mean?
Alrighty, Rob. How's it going?
It's going very well.
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Oh yeah,
good,
we're
man.
good. We're stoked.
Cool.
We've got Rob Sesta on the show here, owner of Drift Outfitters.
Hello there.
Rob, how are you?
I'm very well.
Hey Rob, thanks for having us in the store today.
Thanks for coming to the store. It's a great place to hang out and have a podcast.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Bright, shiny day. And we're hoping to talk to your customers about their fishing season, but we want to talk about your fishing season.
Okay, cool. I hope to fish.
We can talk about
Hey.
drift and all that stuff, but I want to know what Rob Sesta wants out of his 2019 season.
Ooh, that's a good question.
What's like a personal fishing goal for you this year?
I've dedicated my summer, and I'm naming it the Summer of Bass.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
that's
I've,
pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never landed a larger than 5-pound bass on the fly.
Huh.
So this summer, my goal after trout season for sure, as trout gets kicked up, I'll do that. And as soon as bass kicks over, our season opens up, I'll transfer right into bass fishing.
Larger
and,
than 5 pounds.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
I'm-
huge fish.
It's
dude.
small, yeah. We see a lot of people like, and their 5-pound estimates or 3-pound estimates, and they're definitely not that big. So
Yeah.
I think a 5-pound bass like 22 to 24 inches.
Oh wow.
That's a
Then-
lot of length.
Yeah, that
Big
is.
bass.
It's a big bass.
Holy Jesus.
Yeah, so that's what my whole summer is going to be dedicated to, is just finding
Yeah.
those bigger fish and taking
Awesome.
trips to do that. Yeah,
I love the idea of bass, making your season all around bass. Yeah, because it's like that's such an underappreciated fish.
it is hugely so.
And we really got such a short window, you know.
Yeah.
The season opens late June,
Yes.
and then you really only have basically 2 months
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
fish for them.
Yeah, then it gets too cold. Not too cold, but the things slow down. On the
Yeah.
fly, it definitely gets more difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really for myself too, like, trout opens up. It's a great season. I love trout. And
Yeah.
I'm not knocking trout. I'm not ignoring him, but
Of course.
really, like, the way the weather's going, the patterns are going, that trout will be less viable as we go forward with more climate change. So
Exactly, yeah.
for me to really just sort of kick this off, I want to sort of focus on warm water and to extend my own personal season.
Yeah.
As July
Yeah.
rolls around in August, the water's too hot for trout.
Yeah.
You will literally kill a fish by hooking it. So
Yeah.
why hang my rod up and why fish for trout when it's not viable? So let's go hit some bass.
And honestly, bass fishing is so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, just like the classic, like, it's hot summer day, just
You're in your bathing suit.
floating around, like, in a pond or a lake or something.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've done that. I've gone out of my little inner tube at the cottage and grabbed the fly rod and cast right by it and caught a
Yeah.
bass. I'm like, this is amazing.
Oh, we've been to Rob's cottage, and that's a good cottage to do that at. That's
pretty
that's for sure.
nice. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
good.
easy to do that.
Yeah, that's great too. Is bass is accessible. It's everywhere. Through the Grand River, even the Upper Credit, some sections has like smaller bass water.
Yeah.
How many cottages have bass under their dock? Yeah, it's
So many.
there.
Yeah,
So many.
exactly.
Cool. What? You know what I've never caught? A largemouth bass.
What?
Like in my life.
You've
Not
never-
even.
You've
au-
never caught a largemouth bass?
I don't think so. I don't
How
even think
is
even.
that possible?
I don't
I
know.
can't believe
I don't
that.
even think maybe in Ottawa, maybe, but I don't remember
Yeah,
being
maybe
like.
not, yeah.
I don't think so.
Because I never, like, downtown Ottawa, I never caught largemouth. It was always smallmouth.
Impossible.
Because I know,
But
if,
man.
I fish the Mississippi River a lot, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've got largemouth.
Yeah, a lot of smallmouth, too, though, funny enough.
Yeah.
Well,
you're
if,
gonna-
if you come back to the cottage, you will catch a largemouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were there the week before bass opened, and every bass on Earth was jumping
was.
up. They were like,
clearing
"Catch me,
the water.
catch me!"
can't get me. You can't get me.
We're just eating pizza on the dock, like
Oh, my God.
depressed.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great pizza though.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That little wood fire oven is pretty great.
Oh,
Yeah.
you've got a wood
Thanks,
fire
Dad.
oven?
Yeah, my dad is a pizza aficionado.
Oh, my God. That's rad.
It's really good. Yeah, yeah.
We cook
Yul
some-
McGab and I am
Yeah.
Yeah, we cooked some venison in there as well, I think. If I'm not
nice.
mistaken.
bass.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
great.
venison, yeah.
Oh, so
Delicious.
good.
In that oven too. Fantastic.
You'll catch a largemouth. We'll go up to Buckshot,
Buckshot
too.
Yeah.
So many. Like, there's a pond up there that I always like. That's where I started like fly fishing, and man, the largemouth bass up there floating around in a tube, like exactly that summer
Yeah.
day kind of thing. So fun.
So much
Great.
fun.
Yeah.
Rob, Drift though. What's new and exciting in 2019 for Drift?
Oh, that's a big question. So we are about to announce and launch our instructional program for.
Whoa.
Yeah, first time we're doing this. We've done some educational stuff in the shop, but we've now got insurance to then head to the rivers and teach skills on the water.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that's huge. That's great for us. We have to look at developing future fly anglers and skill sets, and we definitely find we've had a lot of people asking us for lessons, particular skill sets or general lessons, and a lot of people out there just want to try fly fishing. So we want to make sure it's approachable. With very, very easy to enter lessons, group lesson settings type thing, just to try it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So less guiding, no guiding, just instruction.
Correct. Yeah. So no guiding, definitely not. We don't
Right.
want to enter that realm. We want to focus on education only.
Gotcha.
Guiding's not our thing. We're in downtown Toronto. We don't know what's happening on the Saugeen today. We can't, we're not going to drive over, check out the river, and drive back to work.
True.
Yeah, so we want to just, and we can educate during low water or high water. We can do all sorts of things. So we want to own that educational aspect.
Nice. I love that. That's great. Well, because you already do fly tying instructional, so I mean, this is a logical next step. Right?
We do, yeah. And really, like a fly shop is an educational hub. Like we spend all day, every day, talking fly fishing, and not just about like catching fish stories, but like how to catch fish and like little tips and tricks to help people out. Even diagnosing casting problems. We've done it even over the phone. Like my rod's doing this, or I'm doing this. We're like, well, try this, and we've helped people out, like just fishing better.
Yeah. That's rad.
That's awesome.
So when are you gonna start doing all that stuff?
It's going to be launching. We're going to get dates set out probably at the end, early next month before trout opens.
Yeah.
And we're going to give everyone to fish for a week or so before we start our lessons. We don't want to sort of jam the water up with beginner lessons. So maybe the first week of May we'll start the group lessons.
That makes sense.
And we'll be doing double hand spey casting lessons.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we definitely need to. There's a lot of skill in there that you need to sort of get right from day one. Otherwise, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
So we want to really focus on that. And there's a lot of requests for it as well. A lot of requests.
Yeah, well, there's not too many spay or any spay focused lessons.
A few of the guides.
A few of the
Yeah.
guides, right? But nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really spread out, and there's not a lot of. I would say there's not a lot of very confident instructors, and they can teach you a basic skill or two,
Right.
but to teach any more advanced, situational type of casting itself, we definitely need to jump on that and get that done.
And For those of you that don't know, Rob's a fantastic spaycaster.
I'm okay.
No, you're pretty good, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Just started
that.
launching casts across the Maitland last year.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, damn.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. Like those two-handed rods, they don't take a lot of energy or to work. It's a really light duty casting on your body, but it takes your skill to be pretty dialed to get your rod to work for you versus you
Right.
work for your rod.
Mitch, you love double hand casting.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. It's such a fun. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That time of year in general, like just steelheading
Yeah.
on the spay. It's so fun.
Oh, in the spring, those fish are violent. They grab hard. Aldo was in the boat when he twitched that fly in front of Ian's boat there and got that
Yeah.
huge smash and grab. I think it's been mentioned on the show a couple times.
It was just that incredible.
So
Yeah.
gnarly.
Speaking of which, we're going on a float with Ian. Which
Yeah?
is gonna- yeah. In May, which will be fun. Mitch is going to be in Scotland, but Yilma and I are coming.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. That's a great time. Ian's a fantastic guide and instructor. His boat's great to fish out of too. He's fun. He's a lot of fun.
Well, that's great. And how can people sign up or learn about the classes? Through
Good
the
question.
website?
Yeah, so through the website, we post everything we posted on the website. You can sign up online on the web store, and you can sign up in shop over the phone.
Rad.
Any way possible, you can contact us. You can sign up for those.
Nice.
Right on.
That's great. I think we have some. Are we going to Mitchy Fishy 5,
Yeah.
Rob?
Yeah.
Oh
let's
my
finish this
gosh,
Fishies 5,
yes! Because I missed this. I was never on
Yeah,
the
you-
first
you-
broadcast. Yeah.
That's right. That
We recorded like episode 2 or 4 or 3 or something like that.
Right in the same space.
in the same spot.
here.
Exactly.
I was
Yeah.
in here.
So
You were
long
here.
Yeah.
Better microphones now.
We
It's
didn't have
amazing.
Mitchie's Fishies 5 then, but we have it now. So we're going to Mitchie's Fishies 5 you.
Let's rock it.
All right, rock and roll. Well, the first one. What is your favorite fish and why?
Oh man, that's a tough one.
Why?
There are many fishing goals in my life.
Yeah.
And at the moment, I would say that my favorite fish is bass.
Whoa.
I have other
nice.
small bass. They're
Yeah.
they're playful. They're fun. It's what I grew up fishing. So why would I ever I can look elsewhere for other fish to fish for.
Yeah.
I have a personal permit challenge. I need to land one still. It's been 5 years of chasing them.
Yeah.
But for myself to head out, have fun with bass, it's just kind of a no-brainer. Big fan.
Smallies, man. Well, it ties in well with your year this year.
My summer bass, baby. Summer bass.
I love that. That's my mother. Great, man. I love that answer. If you could fish anywhere in the world right now, given that it's like the best, not right now, but the best time to fish those fish, if you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
Oh man.
So let's say it's like the peak season for that fish.
Yeah, I would have to look out west for trout. To be honest, as much as I love bass, like I've had this kind of contradictory. To be honest,
Forget the bass.
when you put it that way, dude, I love bass. I mentioned I love those fish, but there's a certain times a year where trout fishing goes bonkers, and heading up like Yellowstone River during the salmon fly hatch, where you have fish competing for a fly, like not just one fish rising and eating something, but like 2 or 3 fish like knocking each other out of the way to get to a fly on the surface is just mind blowing. You're like, what am I
Whoa.
doing?
Oh my
Not
God.
living here.
So gnarly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's wild. So that
I
to
know
me,
Chloe was going on about the salmon fly. She's like, you have to experience that one
Oh,
day.
it's crazy because you're on the river, you look down and you have these gigantic like 1.5 to 2 inch bugs like walking up your legs. You're like, ah!
Whoa.
And they're harmless, completely harmless, and you can sort of take one, throw it into a tree, and it's gone.
Yeah.
And you see these things land in the water, and they just kind of like this big like splat sound.
Yeah.
They flutter and kick, and these fish just know they're there. So
Yeah.
then you're like, all right, well, free meal. And how many calories per big bug
Right.
that is? It's
Yeah.
totally worthwhile for them to fight for it. So
Yeah.
it's
So
yeah.
the fish just go bonkers.
Oh
for it.
my God, do they ever? We do have stoneflies in Ontario. Like the Credit has a small stonefly hatch.
Yeah.
The Grand does in a few spots too. It's widely unknown, but they are there. And there actually are salmon flies on the Upper Credit too, but we don't get the numbers of bugs.
Right.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think the fish even know what they are sometimes. You're like, oh, that's a big thing floating by me. It's moving. Is that food? Oh, it's too late. It's gone. And there's only a handful of them, so they don't really cue into them very well.
Yeah.
But you can get a few big reactive strikes. Golden stones are a bit better up there, but nothing compared to the salmon fly hatch. It's just, it's remarkable.
So cool.
Yeah.
So rad.
Yeah, it's like biblical plague proportion.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, number 3 for Mitchie's Fishies. This one is, what is your best fly fishing memory?
Oh my.
I know there's so many after a storied career such as your own.
Yeah, I fished a lot. I've been in a lot of
Yeah.
places. There's been some really cool moments. You know what? Okay, I think my favorite fly fishing memory is when I decided to like take my fly fishing to the next level and go to guide school and make a career and living out of it. And that was
cool.
I was in South America. I was traveling down with my buddy Darren for like a month-long trip. Had a great time. Lots of really blurry stories, put it that way. It was more of a boozing trip than a fishing trip.
Yeah.
So we got down to a town called Pucon, and we hired a guide for a day. or afternoon. So went out with the guide, and it was okay. It was an okay experience, and it was more of like a rafting trip / fishing trip. The next day, I hired an actual legit guide for a full day, and went down the river, and this water was crystal clear. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. I looked around and found myself in this amazing, like, mystical environment. Looking downstream, there was a volcano that was smoldering, like there was off gas coming off.
Yeah.
So it was-
Crazy.
no, it was ridiculous.
Middle Earth vibes.
It was big time. I was
Yeah.
like, what is happening? So we come around a few bends, and the full moon is out during the day as well. You get those really weird days with the full moons there. And it
Yeah.
was all those things lined up, this beautiful, amazing river that was crystal clear,
Oh man.
the smoldering volcano. And
Yeah.
I was in like, South America. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I
rad.
turned over to my guide, and like we spoke no English. I spoke no Spanish or Chileno Spanish.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing. He's like, sí, señor. So like, agreed.
That's
yep.
awesome.
Yes, it is.
Very good.
So I think that was one of my best memories. I actually have one of those moments tattooed on my leg.
Oh, really?
Boom.
Yeah. So it's there.
That's cool, man.
It's pretty neat.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Si,
a great
señor.
moment.
That's awesome.
Was that a picture of Steph on your phone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
No.
Hey,
that's cute.
absence makes the heart grow fonder, as they say.
Mm.
Number 4 for Mitchie's Fishies. Why do you fly fish?
Oh wow, that's a tough one.
And it's meant to be more existential, but like some people are just like, I don't know.
I like catching fish. And that's totally
It's the best.
valid answer. Yeah.
Yeah. So So I was sitting at a table with Tim Rajeff one evening. This is a fun story.
And Tim is the
owner of Echo,
Right.
fly fishing, Rajeff Sports. He's the head of that. Former rod designer for like G Loomis with his brother Gary. Not Gary. Sorry, I forgot his name right now. But yeah, he's a big deal in the fly fishing industry. Makes amazing rods. I'm trying to plug Echo here for sure, but
They're great rods. I have one.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
But,
I have the Echo Boost. It's great.
yeah, so we're sitting around at this dinner at a sales meeting with Rajeff Sports and sharing a glass of wine. I asked the same question, like, why do you fish? Why do you fly fish? Like, what's the best part about it? So everyone around the table had like an answer. I'm like, okay, cool. I can relate. And I started thinking to myself, like, why do I really fly fish, and what is the best part about it for me? And I think it's connecting with something that's truly wild that I would never ever encounter elsewhere. So if you imagine, like, say you fish for steelhead, for example, a Great Lakes steelhead or Atlantic salmon or a West Coast steelhead. And this fish is being born in the river. It's being hatched and developed, drops out, hits the ocean, goes on this amazing tour around some places that we'll never know. It'll be chased by sharks and whales and just do some pretty badass shit, and then come back to the rivers. And if you can encounter that fish for even like, a minute or 2 minutes while you're fighting it, and then like maybe a bit longer, and then you hold this fish in your hands underwater to keep it breathing. Good fish handling, guys. That was important.
Yep.
And you're holding this thing in your hand. You're like, holy crap. And you start to imagine this fish's story and what it's done and what it's been and what it's seen. And for a minute, you look into its eye. And you're like, wow. Okay, keep on going. Like, it's that sort of moment of like, wow, I've intersected something that would never, ever intersect otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true, actually. That's a really cool way of looking at it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Like, yeah,
Like something you would never come across.
he's like
normally.
dodging sharks and stuff. You have
Yeah.
no idea what
Yeah.
Nuts,
that
man.
fish has been through.
Big time. Yeah. You think about like, those
Drag nets,
yeah.
seals.
Big time, huge. There's big dangers out there. And if you think about an alien encounter, it's basically we're encountering an alien from another world. Like we don't live in the aquatic world, so for that very quick moment, we're encountering this alien from a different place entirely.
Yeah.
There's so
yeah.
many different things and ways you can look at it where it's like, this is just rad. This is like, I have no idea what you are. Like I do,
Yeah.
but I don't. I don't know what your everyday is.
So far from our
How do you
world.
breathe?
yeah. You
It's
breathe
nuts.
water, air in the water. What?
That's an awesome answer, man. I love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, put a little bit of thought to that one. It's been smoldering around.
That's
back there.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. This last one's my favorite one. I think it's everybody's favorite. one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
We're gonna do something with these responses eventually. It is what fly pattern best represents you and why?
If you were a fly,
What would you be?
what would you be?
So I'm a fly junkie. I got
Yeah.
a problem. I like flies. I have a insane amount of flies.
Yeah, you tie a
materials.
lot.
I tie a lot. Yeah, it's one of my sort of cathartic things to do. End of the day, sit down and sort of you lose yourself in your tying bench.
Yeah.
I literally can have materials everywhere. I get lost and I'm like, oh, get me out of here. So in terms of the pattern, ooh man,
Take your time too. We're here till 3.
I have to say a woolly bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Rob is the woolly bugger.
Yeah. What I can relate to, what I would picture myself as, like multi-use.
Yeah.
Will catch everything everywhere, tied differently in different hooks.
Yeah.
I think
I
it
kind of
is.
had you for a crazy Charlie. I don't know why. I thought maybe.
Yeah.
I
wish it was
the
a-
permit thing.
Yeah, I wish it was more. I wish it was more exciting than that. But that fly pattern has won my heart. And like as much as I fish everything else, those tough days, I'm like, let's put on a woolly bugger.
Yeah,
And it works. It works. It always works.
Always works.
It's great.
Yeah.
I was funny because when I was guiding, I had clients who refused to use a woolly bugger.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it works and it worked yesterday. It's gonna work today. It's gonna work
Yeah.
tomorrow. It's like
Yeah.
it's just
Always.
a solid thing. Like I will not use the woolly bugger.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that way too. I'm like, I'm not putting on a woolly bugger.
Yeah.
I want to use something else,
Mhm.
and then I'm like, well, I actually just want to catch a fish.
Yeah.
Just like at some point, you're just like, I put it on.
Yeah, I actually have an entire box of woolly buggers.
I love it.
Like, yeah.
Like, when we went up to Hearst, we were, doing really well on those big pike flies, and that was great. But we brought the same big, pike flies to Elk Lake
Yeah.
earlier in the season, and nothing was happening. And we just put on big black woolly buggers, and they were just hammering them,
Cream them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
creaming them because they thought they were big leeches.
I think it's a great answer though, because like you said, you can be any. There's so many different types of woolly buggers.
Yeah.
Hook
Yeah.
sizes, materials, like every
Yeah.
colors it changes.
Exactly.
So
The
much.
color, like that fly tied in various colors imitates everything, and
you
it's
can catch
super
anything
suggestive.
on it too.
You can. It can be, a fish can think it's a crayfish, a hellgramite. It can think it's a bait fish.
Everything.
If
You
A leech.
You can dead drift it. You can strip it fast, strip it slow. Like
yeah,
it's
you can
swing
twitch
it.
in.
You
It could
can
be, it could be like a
Yeah.
little mayfly nymph if you time it small enough. If they're twitching them around through mud patches. Like it could be anything. It's really the ubiquitous fly. If like when we set people, a great example is when we set people up in the shop for their first ever fly fishing kit. There are always woolly buggers in
Yeah.
it. Like why would you handicap somebody? Like give them a woolly bugger.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
catfish.
Yeah. Here
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an awesome answer. I love that.
Cool. Yes.
You're Mitchie's
I
fishy,
won.
man.
You
You've
won.
been-
You won. You won.
You've been Mitchie's fishied,
Yes.
and you've won.
Yeah. Thank you. What,
Here's
what do
your
I win?
prize.
Is that, can I have some of your cold
It's
coffee?
it's our empty coffee cups.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Rob, social media, online. Where can people find the shop?
I believe it's drift_outfitters on Instagram and Drift Outfitters and Fly Shop on the old Fatchy book or Facebook, as they say in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find us anywhere.
DriftOutfitters.com.
DriftOutfitters.com. We're highly searchable, highly findable, and very active online. So don't be afraid to reach out with any questions you have. Fly fishing can be a very intimidating experience getting into it, but we definitely try to break those barriers down and make it easy like you guys do. You guys talk about amazing social side of it, a lot of fun, and you sort of make people realize that it's not this mystical art. It's a fun skill to have, and you can do it anywhere, anytime.
And it gets you outside.
It gets you outside. Get outside.
Can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to go.
Can't wait to get outside, actually.
Yeah,
on
I
that
can't
note.
I can't wait.
Just gonna pack up equipment here and see you later, guys. Yeah.
Rock and roll. Well,
Well,
thanks for coming on, Rob.
No, thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being at the shop. Love you guys.
Oh!
Jinx.
Oh man, well we love you guys.
Yeah, we
and,
love you guys too.
Rock and roll. Josh on the fly. How's it going?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, in the shop now. You're stocking up for the spring.
Yeah, picking up new wading boots because I blew up my Vapors.
Oh no way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for the last 2 seasons,
Yeah.
the Sims Vapors kind of like let me down. So,
Oh no.
What boots you picking up?
the flyweight, so it's very similar to Vapor, but like the stitching's different. Like I don't know if it's the way I walk or like heavy feet or whatever it is. But,
Yeah.
Right.
You know, they replace it anyway, so if I break it, no big deal.
Nice. So how was your season like since you were on the show last? Like, what have you been up to?
Oh, chasing browns. Just.
Did you go back to New Zealand or you went somewhere?
No, I went to Fernie. I took a trip with the wife. So
Oh, yeah,
we
right on.
fished the Bow River.
Yeah.
Nice.
We did float down there, and we did float down the Elk.
Yeah.
And on our way back, I just looked at my wife. I'm like, I gotta come back here.
Yeah.
Like it was just like a pure, you know what? It wasn't a fishing trip really, but I got in a couple of days. So this year we're gonna go. This year I'm gonna go back.
How'd you
And,
do? Did you stake a bunch of fish?
Oh, it was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. The plan was to go for bull trout and cutthroat, but just the way these cutthroat were attacking a dry fly, it was unbelievable. I couldn't put the fly rod down and pick up the streamer rod, like, so the dry fly was on there the entire time. And I got to go back. So
So rad.
That's rad. Yeah, we're just in the shop asking people about their upcoming season 2, man. So what are you looking forward to? Trout opens in a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your goal?
The goal, it's pretty lofty. I want to get a 26-inch brown trout.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I know they're there. I know at least in the Grand, I've hooked into one a few times.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those fish. Like I hooked it and it ran upstream and put me into my backing, and I've never had that before.
Wow, that's wild.
And I hooked that one a few times, so I'm gonna try to get them again.
Yeah. All right. Jesus, that's a pretty good goal.
Yeah. What about you guys?
Oh man, we're just like I don't know, just
Well,
more trout for me.
Yeah, Mitch said he wanted a 20-inch brown, so I think you just bested
A
it.
I don't know.
I can help you with that.
Yeah. And then I said I just want to explore more. I loved I fished the Saugeen for the first time last year, a couple times, and I just want to keep exploring that river
Yeah,
because I don't get out there often enough. Obviously, it's a little bit further, but from Toronto, but I want to make an effort to go to it more. And I really liked the beaver last year too, so I want to explore that as well. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I've been I want to look at the Saugeen a little bit more in depth, just because everything's kind of getting crowded.
Yeah.
And the further you go, the less people are willing to go out there.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
that's just the way it is.
I didn't know how many I didn't realize how many species were in the Saugeen too. Like, you know, you have the steelhead, the browns, huge bass, muskie.
Yeah, the
crazy.
muskie. Oh my!
The muskie, crazy.
I know a buddy of mine who goes for muskie in there, and they're just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It's nuts.
How you can have all these different species in the same spot and kind of just work together, right?
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
cool. That's what.
Saugeen's a nuts. It's a crazy fishery.
I know you got to come this year, Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the bass, smallmouth bass in there, and everything else too. Like holy Moses.
Yeah, and then they have all these like different branches. Like I know there's like certain other branches that are closer to Meek. I'm in Caledon, so
Okay.
I kind of want to hit those ones. And I've done it before, and you know those old back road map books.
Yeah.
Well, like back in the day, I kind of photocopied every single page and just laid it out for like a whole 7, and then it just like highlighted
cool way
everything,
to
right?
do it.
So I have these lists of like intersections where I should have gone to, and
Yeah.
you never find the time, or
Yeah.
you only have a few hours, so you just go where you know. And
That's actually a wicked way to do it. Just map it all out and be like, hey, that looks like it could be cool. That
yeah,
looks
and
like
then
it could
they
be
just
cool.
highlight everything that I enjoyed, like
Yeah.
what I caught there, and you try to make it back, but there's just so much water in Southern Ontario. It's really hard.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
That's
So
rad.
what's your plan for opener then?
Opener, I try to stay off the river on like,
Yeah.
the Saturday,
Yeah,
just because
yeah.
it's just so nuts, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably hit the usual, the credit, the Grand, whatever's flowing well and
Yeah,
has
yeah.
a good temperature. I remember the credit last year was really, really cold
Yeah.
in that first week,
Yeah.
and I blanked,
Yeah.
absolutely blanked on that river.
Oh, man.
And like I moved some bigger fish. Like I was just super stubborn, because what happens is all winter I'm steelheading, and then spring comes along and I'm like, I'm done nymphing. That's it. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
stand this anymore.
Yeah.
And I'll just stubbornly throw streamers or whatever it is until the dry flies start coming off, right? So,
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So like the first week I was just drifting, tossing streamers, and then I'm like, wasn't catching anything. I'm like, well, I can't get skunked, so threw on a nymph, and I picked up a brookie, and I'm like, okay, back to throwing streamers.
I'm on the board.
Yeah. This year, I just want to put one on the board.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. That's hilarious. Okay, wait. We had you on the show last time, but we didn't ask you Mitchie's Fishies 5, I don't think. Eh? We didn't ask you.
No.
Yeah, okay. Because we didn't have him yet.
You got time?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Can we
Yeah,
Mitchie's Fishies 5 you?
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna ask you all 5 because we never asked you. Okay, first one is, what's your favorite fish and why?
It's brown trout.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
it's-
say. That was pretty obvious, I think.
It's a toss up. Like brook trout is a really, really close second. It was my first fish on a fly, so it always has a special spot in my heart. But
Yeah.
it's openers coming up, and I'm not thinking about catching brook trout.
Yeah.
It's brown trout, right?
Yeah.
So.
It makes a lot of sense. If you could fish anywhere in the world right now, given that it's the best time of year to go, the best time to go to that place, where would you go?
Oh, South Island, New Zealand, without a doubt. Without a
Yeah,
doubt.
Chris is nodding over there.
Yeah,
I
Chris
think
is like,
that-
yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just telling you guys about furry. That's a really close second, and I'm gonna take a little bit more time to explore it just because of the dry fly fishing is insane. But
It's a close second, eh?
like just the style of hunting and
Yeah.
the trout in New Zealand is just out of this world.
Yeah.
It's just something you can't really get.
Yeah. But for any, that's a lot easier to get to.
Yeah, it's like
not that
take
far.
it to like around $500 to
Yeah.
like fly out
Oh,
to
that's awesome.
Cranbrook.
Yeah.
You're right in the Rockies, and then the only problem is I don't know if you guys are aware of like their licensing systems for their classified waters.
No.
No.
Okay, so they released them March 1st at midnight,
Yeah.
so Pacific time. So I was up till 3 a.m. in the morning here, trying to get passes to
Oh my
fish
God.
some of these classified waters because
Yeah.
it's a day pass, right? So you got to pay $20 a day to fish
Yeah.
whichever river. Now some of these rivers have only so many spots for out of province anglers,
Yeah.
and that goes quick. Like I was logged in the entire time, like just constantly checking. I got two
Yeah.
other buddies who are coming with me. And what happened was I stayed logged in. Licenses came out 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
and I'm in there. I get my license for a really good bull trout river called the Wigwam.
Yeah.
They couldn't log in because the site was crashing.
Oh man.
4 minutes later, they were all gone.
No way.
Yeah, for that
Wow.
2-week period, they were all gone.
Damn.
So now I have a pass
Oh
for
my
this
God.
river,
Yeah.
and then they're kind of like,
That's crazy.
nah,
man.
a little bit cheese, but you know what are you gonna do? I just fish it by myself and bring some bear spray. Everything works out because it's pretty out there, right?
That's like some
Yeah,
serious like it's like getting like U2 tickets or something. Like you can't get them, right?
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. And like for fishing, I don't know, for fishing these BC waters, it's okay. I mean, I did it. I got my passes.
Yeah.
A lot of them are unlimited, so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But it's just the select few that we really wanted to fish. We
Yeah.
only got like one out of the 2 rivers.
Oh man, it's crazy. Okay, number 3. Now this might have taken place in New Zealand, but what's your best fishing memory of all time?
Of all time,
Of all time.
All time.
it's probably taking my kids out to the credit last year.
Nice. Yeah.
And I got really ambitious. I tied up some wet flies because I know you don't really have to present them properly, and
Yeah.
brook trout will hit it. So I tried to get them to roll cast out, and that just went completely out the window.
Yeah.
Like they could not do it. So I just tossing dries out, hooking into some brook trout, and then having my kids net the fish for me,
Yeah.
which is pretty good.
Nice. That's rad. Okay, so number 4. Why do you fly fish? This is like kind of a more like existential question, but hey, just because I like it's a great answer.
Why do I fly
Yeah.
fish?
Why did you ever get into it to begin with? And why do you keep doing it?
I mean, I got into it because the first season opens up is trout, and I was Googled, well, what's the best way to catch trout and fly fishing, and
Yeah.
jump through that big hole. But why do I keep doing it? I don't know. It's just nice kind of way to bring me back outside and always,
Yeah.
I don't know, just connect with nature, like kind of disconnect from everything else. And yeah, I can't really answer that question. Like,
I know,
I have
it's-
no idea
it
why,
kinda-
but there's
I think it
something
kinda
that
did, though,
pulls
yeah.
me there. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, I'm constantly drawn to the
Yeah.
river, and exploring different rivers is just so nice. Like, there's just like this always expectation, like, okay, around the next bend, there's going to be a riffle with rising trout. I don't know, that kind of image just keeps me there, or,
Yeah.
a nice deep pool or a brown trout can materialize out of. But
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know, it's just good for the soul, you know what I mean?
Totally. 100%. No, it's a great answer. I mean, yeah. I mean, it is like I think it is a lot of the time more of just an innate thing. We fly fish because we just, I don't know. It's kind of inexplainable sometimes,
Yeah.
True passion. All right. Last Mitchie's Fishies 5. And our favorite. What fly pattern represents you best and why?
Like if you were a fly, who would you be? What would you be?
Any fly in the world.
Any fly, probably have to go with elk hair caddis.
Nice.
Ooh.
And why? Why the elk hair caddis?
Because it's versatile, right? Like
Yeah.
you can dead drift it, you can skate it, you can't fish it wrong is
Yeah.
pretty much what I'm going at, right?
Yeah.
Like you do whatever you can drown it, you can swim. Like it's just a very versatile fly.
Yeah.
I don't like to attack anything one certain way, so I like to switch gears. And elk hair caddis is kind of one of those flies, I guess, where you can,
Yeah, Josh is an elk hair caddis.
yeah.
I dig it. I like that. That's cool.
That's awesome.
That's rad. Well, thanks so much for coming on, man.
No
Yeah.
problem. Good seeing you
It's
guys.
good
Nice to
Yeah.
meet you
Yeah.
finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We'll
that's
see you on the river.
We gotta have you on the show again too. Maybe next time you go back to Fernie or something, we'll have you on.
Have
Talk
like a
about
Fernie recap show.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yes.
Talk about
Yeah.
Fernie. Would
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely. Oh yeah, I'd love to do that, guys.
Wicked.
Oh, that'd be
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, I got a week, an intensive week there.
Yeah.
I say intensive.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
yeah.
me and 2 of my buddies, we have a fishing trip every spring,
Yeah.
and with my baby coming in August, I told my wife, okay, I have to come back to Fernie.
Yeah.
So she gave me the pass. I go to my buddies. I'm like, look, you guys want to go to the Sioux like we always do, but I only got one pass.
Yeah.
I'm going to Fernie. You guys can come with me, or going by myself.
yeah.
and they came around. So
Nice.
that's a trip this year.
That's wicked.
That's
gonna be
awesome.
Yeah,
fun,
so
man.
it's like 7-8 days of just pure fishing with the guys.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd love to talk.
So when you
about
get
I'd
back
love
and
to talk
before
about
your
that.
kid's born, let's try and
Let's get
get
in
you
a
on the
couple
show.
hours,
it.
yeah.
and
First 2 weeks of August is great.
Okay, perfect.
Does that
Done.
work?
Wicked.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, man, for coming on.
No
Thanks, Josh.
problem.
Oh, it's done.
You're the worst, man.
Yelma, what did you put in all those coffee?
Napkin.
Why?
Somewhere to spit in my
What did you put in Yelma's? What did you put in all those coffee? Napkin. Jack.
It looked done.
What's going, man?
Jack, how are you?
It sounds so weird.
Yeah, here, bring it a bit closer. Or push your chair forward a bit more.
Dude, you're like 100 feet tall.
And then, yeah, exactly. That's perfect. Talk now.
Does this? Yeah,
Oh, that sounds-
still
Oh, that
sounds
sounds great.
weird.
Sounds
No, it sounds
perfect,
great.
dude.
Yeah.
Just weird to hear myself talk.
Oh,
Isn't it
I
cool?
hate it. I hate my voice.
Alrighty. Jack
What are
from
we asking
Drift.
Jack?
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Good. We haven't had you on the show. We've had everybody else from Drift on the show. This is your first time on the show.
I'm excited
We're excited to have you.
for sure.
Well, we're here today. Yelma's here with me now.
Yeah, I'm more interested in the fact that this guy's a tennis pro. He's a fly fishing pro. He's a volleyball pro.
Yeah.
White fishing pro.
Well, because you're too close to the microphone.
But you guys always tell me to go.
No,
close
this is
to it.
perfect. Like, that's
I
great.
think pro might be a bit of an exaggeration, but
Yeah. I think
That's not what I heard.
Jack is a tall guy too.
I am
very
a tall
tall.
guy. Yeah,
Maybe the tallest guy we've had on the podcast.
Yeah.
pushing 6'6".
Holy mama
Oh my
pajama.
god! And you don't play ball,
I
basketball.
suck at basketball.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Can you golf?
I'm okay. I've got a wicked slice though. Like,
Oh, nice.
it's a banana coming out
Nice,
the
Yelma.
tee.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, I golf,
I got a
bro.
wicked slice. Nice.
Yeah.
He's got a nice slice.
Do you golf, Yelma?
I do.
Seriously?
Yeah.
You know, slice is a bad thing, right?
Oh,
is it?
I hit the ball straight off the tee. It sucks.
All right. So I'm a bit of a white liar.
Okay. Where's this going? What are you saying?
So a little white lies.
Is this the confession right now?
yeah, I don't play
You're a
golf.
bit of a. Oh, you don't play golf? No, of course you
I
don't. Play
don't. I don't.
golf. Jack, how's it going, man? Why don't you tell the people what you do down here at the shop?
I don't know. I reach high things.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why Rob hired me. Don't have to get the ladder out as often.
Yeah.
Um,
Love that.
but kind of just general shop upkeep.
Yeah, right on, man.
Inputting, stickering beads right now. Some slotted tungsten beads, which is
Nice.
really exhilarating.
So inventory.
Yeah,
I
pretty
love it.
much.
Okay.
So you got we're talking to people about their season coming up. What's your season? What are you looking forward to this season coming up?
So this summer, I am living in the Gaspé in
Whoa.
Quebec,
Right on.
in a small town called Matisse, teaching tennis,
Mm-hmm.
which should be fun. But I'm a big Atlantic salmon guy. Love swinging flies, and there's a whole bunch of great rivers out there that I'm really looking forward to fishing. So
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Can we join you?
yeah, sure. I'll have you at a couple days.
When are you
Right
going down?
I'm not sure. Job starts June 30th. I'd
Okay,
like to
gotcha.
get out there a couple weeks earlier,
That's
maybe a
rad.
week earlier to get some good fishing in, and then the striped bass fishing out there has been quite good in the last couple of years. Last year there was a bit of really a massive decline.
Oh yeah.
The biologists I was looking into it, and they think almost a third of the population was decimated,
Jeez.
because what they think is they tried to kind of undergo a migration. Obviously, the striped bass were kind of reintroduced to the into the St. Lawrence and the kind of the Gaspé Peninsula, and they think they tried to, for the first time, kind of continue on their traditional migration routes,
Right.
kind of out towards Newfoundland and further out into the Atlantic. And I was out there last year for a couple of weeks, and places we were having like 10, 20, 30 fish days. We were just not even seeing them,
Man, that's crazy.
which is tough. But hopefully they come back this year in stronger force, because the Atlantic salmon fishing out there has been really tough. But one of the redeeming qualities has been the striped bass fishing has been great.
Yeah.
But last year was kind of the worst of both worlds. But
Dang.
whatever. Hopefully it'll be good this year. Hoping for a cold summer. I might be the only person that will ever say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you fished a lot down in that area, eh?
Yeah. I've been very lucky that my older brother is a big fisherman. We've kind of converted my mom, so we've been able to go to some pretty cool places in the last couple of years.
That's rad, man.
Yeah.
Where do you like fishing the most down in that end? Like which rivers or anything?
Mainly the Matisse,
Yeah.
which is the closest to where I'll be living.
I love his paintings.
Nice.
Henri Matisse. Good Renaissance joke.
Yeah,
there.
yes,
nice.
Nice. bringing the
Bringing the OCAD grad back.
and then the Matan.
Yeah.
And the oh my god, the Rimouski as well.
Yeah, nice.
Totally spaced out on the name there, but
That's rad.
yeah.
So what this year coming up then? Do you have any like fishing resolutions or anything you want to try to like hone in on?
I've been in the last kind of couple summers trying to get a muskie on the fly. I've been working pretty hard. Had a couple takes last summer.
You'll get there, man.
But
Yeah.
I'm a kind of a closet gear guy as well. I don't
Yeah.
like to admit it very much, but
Yeah.
with muskie, fly fishing can be tough. And the waters I'm fishing in the Ottawa River, it's tough to get in the fly. You're trying to cover a lot of water
Yeah.
really quickly, moving stuff fast, covering deep water. But this summer, one of my resolutions is I'm not going to touch any of our gear rods. I'm just going to try
out
and
there.
slog them with the fly.
Straight up.
Love to get a early morning muskie take on a popper. That'd be
Oh, man.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
that'd be
man.
pretty sweet. And they get big in there. I've caught I think the biggest I have in the gear out there is 51 inches, which is
Holy.
it's a pretty respectable
That's a
muskie.
massive
It's a
fish, man.
huge fish.
so- Hopefully, I can replicate that in the fly.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
we got close to 50 on just fishing for pike.
Yeah.
And Gab was resilient, and he finally caught like a huge, was like 44 inches on a popper.
Yeah, like 25, like 18.
He's not here to defend
It's
himself.
fish stories. They get bigger and bigger
Yeah,
and bigger.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Now that's cool, man. Muskie on the fly for sure. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that.
For sure.
Yeah.
Been tying up a whole bunch of flies and
Yeah.
really big.
Yeah.
The good shoulder workout casting those suckers.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, I came back and we did the trico hatch from that big trip, and it
Like
was
you're
like,
casting a toothpick.
yeah, I couldn't even feel the rod.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
What kind of flies are you tying up? Like what patterns and what material are you using?
A lot of bucktail. I've been tying. There's obviously fly tying. Go to YouTube, and
sure,
there's a couple sneaky patterns that have kind of adaptations of the beast fly,
Yeah.
which is basically just a whole bunch of reverse stacked bucktail, and then I use SF fiber. It's
Yeah, for
kind of
sure.
in a big dubbing loop as the head.
Yes.
And I've been kind of messing around with the different platforms, putting some wiggle tails on there as well.
Oh, right on.
Which is give crazy action.
Yep.
With one of the flies I tied, big black, with a wiggle tail. Like when you stretch the wiggle tail out, the pattern's like 15 inches long. It's
Oh, man.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
I love that.
it'll
Yeah, ours
be
is-
it'll be fun to fish.
So, what colors other than the black?
Some perch imitations, white and red, white bucktail with a red head, and some mirror flash in there as well. Yeah, I mean anything really.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of big silhouette. It's more about speed,
Pushing water and stuff,
speed,
yeah.
and put some rattles in some of the flies
Yeah.
as well. Fully dressed.
Why not? Why
Uh,
not?
You are gearhead, yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're fighting the odds, so you may as well
Yeah.
make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Sure.
How was your season last year?
It was a lot of fun. A lot of muskie. We were actually it was a really cool trip up to Ungava Bay,
Yeah.
in the far north of Quebec to fish the George River for Atlantic salmon.
That's pretty awesome.
Which was it was ridiculous. Normally when you're fishing for Atlantics, you have, especially in the Gas Bay, really anywhere unless you're going to Russia or kind
Yeah.
of this river that we went to, and there's a couple other pretty special rivers up in northern Quebec as well. But if you have like 3 or 4 fish in like a week-long trip,
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
It's epic. If you
Yeah.
have, I've gone like weeks without takes
Oh, for
in the middle of the summer when the water's low and they're not playing.
Yeah.
But we went up there and we fished 5 days. We were lucky. We were supposed to fish 4, but we were supposed to fly out the last day and it got way too windy for the plane to come in. So
Oh man.
we got to fish an extra day, which was awesome.
That's amazing.
But the whole deal there is there's a pretty much it's the first we were fishing the first obstacle called Helen's Falls that the fish encounter up the river, and it's basically this maybe 6-7 kilometer just chute of rapids.
Oh man.
And this river is like it's next level big. It's running like 70,000 CFS. And so you're not fishing the river. You're fishing the small pockets and the little
Yeah.
riffles along the sides.
Super targeting spots,
Yeah,
right?
and sometimes you're even fishing back eddies.
Yeah.
And it's all fishing riffle hitched flies. There's a whole bunch of special flies that guys have designed
For that river?
For that river.
Wow.
a lot of bombers, but without the front calf tail wing,
Right.
which and an up eye hook, which is weird. I
yeah.
kind of felt a little weird tying those guys, but they worked really well. There's a fly called La George, the George,
yeah.
which is a lot of similar to a muddler, and just that deer hair head makes it really great for riffle hitching, and
That's
it's
cool.
amazing to see your fly kind of coming across that glassy water and just that salmon coming lazily, like a
Yeah.
20-pound fish lazily coming up and sipping it off the surface.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're aggressive. It was great. We went up with my grandfather as well,
Yeah.
and he's been a big Gaspé guy.
Yeah.
And to see him, we went up. I was fishing a pool with him, and like second cast, just got right into the money zone. He had 3 Atlantic salmon come after one fly.
That's gnarly.
They were just competing for it, and he hooked one, and it was, I think, between the 4 of us, myself, my mom, my brother, my grandfather, I think we landed maybe 70 fish,
Jeez.
which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
nuts.
I think our average size was like 13, 14 pounds.
Good
I
job.
haven't reached 70 in 4 years.
Oh yeah, you have.
That's really nice of you.
But
That's a gnarly
yeah,
trip.
like with Atlantic salmon, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's
it
insane.
was a really, really special river.
Right, right.
Bugs were crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
At
Well,
one
they all are.
point, I was reeling in a fish that
Yeah.
I hooked, and my left hand was fine because that's the hand I was moving to reel, but the stationary hand that I was holding the rod with, it was just black
Oh,
with mosquitoes and
God.
fireflies. It
Oh
was,
my God.
It was next level. Yeah. But,
So you're constantly swatting off bugs.
oh my
and getting
God!
bit
Yeah,
like
yeah. I
crazy.
am.
Okay, I don't know if I can do that.
I hate wearing. I don't like. I don't even like wearing sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let alone like bug nets and stuff like that. But by day 2, I was just
Like
covered.
dead. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You gotta sneak off for the photo, and then you're right back on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
That's gnarly though. That's amazing.
it was a crazy trip.
yeah. Hey, I saw you got a nice steelhead. Was that a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was
Oh, yeah.
last week.
Saw that.
Last week, yeah.
I can't believe I like
That fish
very,
was awesome.
very, very lucky. Yeah, we went out to flew into Seattle and fished the Olympic Peninsula.
Yeah.
Last week, did 5 days, fished the lower Hoh, the upper Hoh, and then the kind of middle and lower Bogoshiel.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we were fortunate to be out there, but the conditions were super, super tough.
Yeah.
Kind of really weird for this time of year out there. Normally, our guides are saying they get it like an inch of rain a day.
Jeez.
And we were out there, and they had an inch of rain in 2 months.
Oh my God.
And so the water was running at a quarter of its flows, super low, super clear, and really, really cold. And there were some fish in the rivers, but
It was tough.
they really didn't want. And I love swinging flies. I think that's my favorite way to fish. And we fished hard, kind of getting up at 5 on the water at 6, off the water at 6,
Yeah.
like fishing long days.
Yeah.
And really only had one really solid take on the swing, and that was on day 3.
Wow.
And I hooked him. It's really fast bucket at the top of a chute.
Yeah.
Fly was coming across super fast, and he just crushed it, and then proceeded to just tail walk straight at me for about 10 meters, and I freaked out. I lost my mind. It was the first steelhead I've ever hooked on the swing,
Yeah.
or at least
Oh, awesome.
first sea run steelhead.
Sea run, yeah.
Which, I mean, you hear the West Coasters give a lot of gripe about, those lake run fish, they're not steelhead. I've fished the lake run steelhead,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, they're all snobs. But when you hook a fresh fish straight out of the sea, it's next level. These fish they're so bright, they're so strong. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to get a couple fish under indicators on kind of beads and egg patterns, and it was great. That one nice fish, pushing 14, 15 pounds, super bright, minty fish,
Yeah.
bright chrome. Just
Oh,
the
we saw.
the slightest touch of pink, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Pretty
it was
wicked trip though.
It
like,
was
either
it
way.
was an awesome trip, and just
Yeah.
to be outside swinging and fishing for I guess 5 straight days,
Yeah.
just being outside in the water was.
And such a beautiful region too.
Oh my
eh?
God, yeah, the big trees,
Yeah.
a lot of moss,
So cool.
and there's something just really enjoyable about casting a 2-handed rod. You
Yeah.
get into that rhythm of cast, step, swing, and
Yeah.
you kind of everything else seems lost. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. How'd you get into fly fishing, man?
My brother. I guess my grandfather got my brother into it, and then my brother. Like I said, I would always. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We would.
You're talking like me.
Yeah. we would always fish as kids, but there's some. As soon as I picked up a fly rod, and like when you hook a fish, the first fish I ever hooked on a fly rod versus anything else I'd ever hooked on gear. It was like, wow,
Yeah,
that
right.
was so much more exciting,
It's
so
so
much
different,
more
right?
exhilarating.
Yeah.
You feel like, because it is tougher. It is tougher, and just the reward you get from working that little bit harder and kind of perfecting your craft was awesome. And I was lucky enough. The first ever time I went fly fishing, I was like 7 years old, and it was on a salmon river in the Gaspé, and I didn't hook anything. Saw my grandfather land a small grilse, but I got to hold the fish and just sharing this. That's why I just love Atlantic salmon,
Yeah.
and just sharing those such special moments, because you don't catch them very often, but they really are a majestic fish. They're all totally, or they should be, and generally are totally wild. Kind of they're in those rivers exactly as they were intended to be.
Yeah.
And just holding that fish, waiting, and they're, I think, almost the greatest part of, other than the take, is
Come on, there you.
Yeah. Come on through.
seeing those fish just swim away
Yeah.
after you hook them,
Yeah.
knowing that they're gonna go out and spawn and bring more fish into the world.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, they are such like a just like an honest real fish, you know?
Yeah.
Like in the way that their life cycle happens.
Yeah.
So
And I
did
mean-
you grow up in that area?
No, I grew up in Toronto. My family is kind of traditionally from there. My grandfather, or my great grandfather, kind of settled, and they right at the mouth of the Métis River, and there's a beautiful botanical garden that is run by my uncle, the Jardin des Métis, or Reeford Gardens.
Wow.
And they are beautiful. They were originally planted by my great aunt, Elsie Reeford. And
History.
I know. If
Yeah, whoa, what a crazy back end.
know.
if anyone's out in that region, it's definitely a worthwhile place to check out.
Yeah.
The rivers are beautiful, but it's really a special place.
Yeah. Sounds gorgeous. Sounds
yeah,
beautiful.
yeah. It's my favorite part of the world. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's tough to describe, but
Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
yeah, I grew up as a Toronto boy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's pretty cool though that you got roots there and you can go back and fish and
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nostalgia.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah.
that's wild, man.
Very
That's
cool.
really
Yeah.
cool. Do you want to do Mitchie's Fishies 5?
Sure.
Can we
do
Mitchie's
Yoma.
Fishies 5 you?
Don't know what that is, but I'm excited.
Okay, well, we got 5 questions that we ask guests on
Okay.
the show. They're always the same 5 questions, and they kind of just like are more general fly fishing questions about your fly fishing history and you as a fly fisher.
Okay.
So we'll go through all 5. Your first one, which I think I might know the answer to this one already, but is what is your favorite fish and why?
Let me think about this one.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's got to be the Atlantic salmon.
Yeah.
And for really everything that I've said already, but they're just such a perfect fish.
Yeah.
When you for me, when I think about fly fishing, you kind of conjure up images of Scotland and the River Spey and all these kind of lords and ladies fishing these rivers with 17-foot rods in the
Yeah.
in like the 13th century.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one of the places that fly fishing was born, was
Yeah.
for the Atlantic salmon.
yeah,
And I think just to be able to kind of connect,
yeah,
it's like when you hook and you encounter these fish, you get like that moment of perfection.
yeah,
You hold that fish at the right angle, and even like it's not only the chromers, the fresh bright fish early in the season are beautiful, but as you get into the end of the season, kind of end of August, September, start of October, you get those really, really cool looking kind of darker painted
Totally.
fish, and they almost look like just big brown trout. You got the big kipes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
fantastic fall colors.
Yeah.
They change colors just like the trees change
Yeah,
colors.
exactly.
pretty cool.
They
Yeah,
change with the
super cool.
seasons, and yeah, they look awesome. So it's got to be the Atlantic salmon, or I don't know. We were.
You only
looking
get
up-
one.
Okay.
I'm
What's
just
your-
kidding.
what's
I'm
your
just kidding.
backup?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Muskie?
No.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to fish for golden dorado in Argentina as well.
Whoa.
And that was I'm a ridiculously lucky. But that was a really
That's
really
cool.
that was a cool fish as well.
Yeah. Wow.
Those are wild, man. Those are such cool fish.
Yeah, it was epic. It was really cool.
Yeah. God dang. Okay. Well, that kind of goes into this because it sounds like you've gone to a ton of different destinations. Like you've gotten to fish all over.
I've been super lucky. Yeah, for sure.
Well, if you could go anywhere in the world right now, presumably it's the best time of year to go fishing for this fish in this place. Where would you go and why?
It's kind of similar to the first question. It's a toss-up between the George River,
La Jauge.
La George, and basically where we fished for dorado was at Lodge, Pira Lodge. It was in the Estros del Iberia. Yeah, Ibera marshlands in the
Sorry,
far,
spell it.
far in the far north of Argentina. It was
Nice.
it was a crazy place. You're fishing a whole bunch of different situations. You
Yeah.
can swing flies with the heavy sink 6 lines in the
Yeah.
river. You can fish poppers in the marshlands and the tiny channels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
Very cool.
honestly, I don't think there's a fish that will pull harder immediately on the take.
Yeah.
Like
They just smoke it.
especially on the tight line when you're swinging those flies and just slowly stripping them through, giving
Yeah.
them pulses, pulling it off the bank. And when you get a mid-river tight line grab,
Yeah.
freaking feels like it's gonna pull your arm off.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like I'd go to bed just dreaming of that freaking pull. It was
Get anxiety. You don't even sleep.
They were crazy. Yeah, it was
I wouldn't
awesome.
sleep. I don't sleep. Actually, not to interrupt, but I don't sleep before any fishing trip.
No?
Oh no,
Too excited?
too excited. Too excited.
I
Anyways,
love that.
Number 3.
What is your best fishing memory?
It's got to be a toss-up.
Yeah.
First time I ever hooked an Atlantic salmon.
Yeah.
It was not a conventional hookup. It was fishing on the Rimouski River, late fall. It was a dark fish. It wasn't a big fish. It was a small grilse. And I'd swung through the pool, and I was kind of just letting it sit there, and I was just stripping. I kind of was talking to my brother, and I just stripped the fly in, and
Yeah.
we'd fished a couple days, and I was maybe like 10, 11 years old. I didn't think we were gonna catch anything. We'd fished 2 days already, hadn't even seen anything.
Yeah.
And just felt the grab on the strip,
Yeah.
and proceeded to kind of strip in my line. My brother's like, "Oh, get on the reel, get on the reel." I was like, "What the hell does that mean?" And so I managed to get the line, get the fish on the reel, and then my reel fell off. And so I was basically hand
Oh my
lining this
God.
fish in without a reel.
Amazing.
And got some great photos, and yeah, it was hectic, but it was a lot of fun. And I still land the fish. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you landed. That's all that matters.
And then kind of a combo with this Dorado trip, we did a combo of Dorado and then Sea Run Browns.
Yeah.
And similar when we were out there and fishing the Rio Grande in Tierra del Fuego. We were first week of this season. It was tough conditions. River was really warm and quite low.
Yeah.
And a little bit stained as well. And I had hooked a big fish and lost him pretty much immediately. Took it, jumped, and flipped the middle fin, and there went the fly.
Yeah.
And then kind of proceeded to keep fishing, caught a couple small ones, but on the very last night, in basically the pitch dark,
Yeah.
fished this really, really juicy looking undercut bank, all with the two-handed rod, strip, kind of swinging a big leech,
Yeah.
slow pulsing strips to get it, get the fish going a little bit more, and this just big bolt of fresh silver just crushed it.
Oh man.
And that was maybe the most nerve-wracking fight I've ever encountered. After fishing for like 4 days and
Yeah.
finally knowing you got the big one,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
got it in and right in the dark got big 18-pound fresh bright hen.
That's pretty rad.
Which was
I can dig it.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
It's pretty exciting, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez. Okay. Number 4. Why do you fly fish?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when you think of fly fishing, everyone always thinks, "Oh, it's all about the fish." But
Yeah.
for me, I think it's just being outside. Because when you fish, you're not always going to catch fish, right? Just going through the slow rhythm of casting, of stripping, of swinging, and of just being outside in nature, slowing down. Because when you're fly fishing, you can't fish quite as fast, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You're really forced to slow down, especially when you're swinging a fly in a river. You have to slow down and kind of appreciate what's going on around you.
Yeah.
See the wildlife,
Yeah.
see the fish,
Yeah.
and just get lost in that rhythm.
Yeah.
And really nothing else matters when you're fly fishing, and I think that's why
Yeah.
it's so important. It all melts away,
Yeah, it puts everything into perspective, doesn't it?
for sure.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. The last of Mitchie's Fishies 5.
It's a good one.
What fly pattern represents you best and why? If you were a fly, what would Jack be?
It's my favorite question. Out of the 5.
It's always cool to hear the answer.
Yeah.
I can never pin it down to just one with these questions.
Yeah.
I'm not a very good
Because you're very-
interviewee.
No, it's you're very open mind. That's why.
I don't know. There's something so majestic about the bomber.
Yeah.
It's the first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's the first time. Yeah.
Or, I don't know, before coming out to this trip, I tied up a whole bunch of really, really sexy-looking intruders
Yeah.
for the steelhead, and those were pretty cool. But I think it would have to be the bomber.
So if you were a fly, you'd be the bomber.
Yeah.
I love it.
Slow. I mean, I'm not slow, but It's just like to get Atlantic salmon, to take a bomber, you have to fish it well. You have to fish it methodically. You have to like, especially tying them. They're so annoying to tie with all that deer hair and rapid. The amount of times I've spent like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of stacking the deer hair, trimming the deer hair, and then I get right to the bottom, and it's tough because you have the hackle, you've got the calf tail, and the amount of times I've snipped off my freaking hackle
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
finishing that body, and it's like, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't even
but-
tie flies, and I know how frustrating that is.
Sounds frustrating.
But yeah, it's a fun fish it's a fun fly to fish. It's a fun fly to tie, and it's I don't know, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
That's rad, man.
I like
love that. I love
Yeah.
the bomber. That's the first time we've heard the bomber on the show.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just the Atlantic salmon guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're
about-
young as shit, so
I
you
don't-
know
I
when
don't
you get
know
older, it
about
might
that.
change.
Jack's the bomber.
Gen-
boy.
I don't want to put stereotypes, but genuinely think of the Atlantic salmon guy. He's not 17 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
might have a bigger pot belly and white hair.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Who knows? Maybe that'll be me someday.
Yeah.
I think it will be. Thanks so much for coming on, Jack.
Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
It was
Thanks,
great.
dude.
For sure.
We got to have you on again maybe at the end of the year and see how you did in your season.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
for
I see you
sure.
have a lot of stories. 17, eh?
Yeah.
You've like lived.
I've been very lucky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
to-
Well, we definitely need to get you back on the show.
Yeah, man.
For sure. I'd love to be back.
Right on. I love that you got the baby on, man. That's hilarious. Do you take baby fishing too?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, take her down. Take her to
wicked.
the river with us.
I love that. So, so welcome.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Jesse?
Jesse, right
Yeah.
on. Thanks for coming to the show.
Yeah, no problem.
So, what are you doing down at Drift today? Stocking up for spring or?
Yeah, just coming down. I'm heading out to BC just for a weekend next,
No way.
2 weekends. So
That's rad. Where are you going?
I've got a place out in Kimberley.
Oh, nice.
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 Yeah, so just going out there. We're building it right now, so
Oh, man, that's awesome.
going out there to check on how things are going and probably go hit the Kootenay before, hopefully before Frechette hits.
Oh, man, that's wicked. How long are you going for?
Just 4 days basically, flying on Thursday and then back
wicked.
out Sunday.
That's so awesome. And for listeners at home, you've got a baby strapped to you right
I
now.
do have a baby strapped to me.
That's awesome. Take him fishing?
She's so
I do
cute.
take her fishing. Yeah,
Yeah?
I think the first time she got experience or hit the river was, I think at 3 months.
Oh, wow. No
wow.
way.
Yeah,
Where was that?
out in BC on the St. Mary's, and
St. Mary's, yeah.
That's wild.
she's been to the Lucier, Kootenay, a couple other small tributaries and around there in the Kootenay drainage.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So whereabouts did you start fly fishing? Are you from BC or are you from here?
I'm from here. I started fly fishing probably when I was 13, out in BC. Same
Right,
thing.
yeah.
My dad,
Yeah.
and yeah, been doing it ever since.
That's awesome,
and just
man.
got heavy into it the last probably 5 years, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Same.
always, yeah,
Yeah.
it was always something I did, here and there. But I was always a bait guy and bass
Yeah.
fisherman
Yeah.
around here, and
Yeah.
then I just, needed something new.
Yeah.
Fell in love with the mountains.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, tell us about BC.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've fished quite a few places in the world, and I keep going back. It's
It's a different world.
yeah. You just look at a map, find some trails, go
That's it.
down some logging roads, and figure things out. It's a little trickier than some places with the classified waters and stuff like that, but
Right.
you just got to have at least a plan of what drainage you're gonna hit, and get your license for the day, and you're good.
Yeah, the classified waters we were talking about earlier today. Actually, funny enough.
Oh yeah.
But it's like it's tricky, right? Because you have to you have to get it right at the right time, and it's sort of like there's only a certain number of licenses available, that kind of stuff.
So yeah, for like the Wigwam and Skookumchuck,
Yeah.
those are sort of the two. They've got really hit big, and Michelle Creek.
Yeah.
They're sort of the big bull trout later in the season.
Yeah.
So they have their days limited. Michelle Creek's got I don't know what it is about that water, but it's got, for this little tiny creek, it's got massive cutthroat in it.
Oh man, it's crazy.
And it just, you wouldn't think anything of it. It just runs down the side of the highway.
Yeah. And it's just an amazing cutthroat
Yeah.
river. Oh
Yeah.
man.
But a lot of the other rivers, like if you want to get on the Elk or St. Mary's, and there's a few that aren't actually classified if you put a little bit of time in and
Yeah.
figure out which ones,
Oh, that's wicked, man.
and then you just go for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's your season looking like then? So you're gonna be out in BC soon,
Yeah.
and then what else are you gonna be going out there a whole bunch, or what do you got planned? For
Yeah,
this
I'm gonna try to work out of our Calgary office hopefully for summer, and then
Oh.
spend the weekends.
Oh, you're
year?
good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. What do you do?
I work for TD.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
All right on.
So that's pretty. That'd be awesome if you could
Yeah.
just work there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
From between the Bow and I guess St. Mary's.
Yeah,
Back and
exactly.
forth.
Just back and forth on
Yeah.
the weekends.
How is the Bow? Is the Bow like a good time?
I haven't fished it, to be honest with
Yeah?
you. I've always just been sort of interior BC. and-
Interior BC.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome
Yeah,
to the show.
heard you, yeah.
Yeah. it's definitely on the list though. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
kind of. I mean, it gets hit pretty hard, but
Yeah.
it's a big river and a big fishery.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You got any good stories from out in BC? Like any really good things that come to mind?
I mean, bull trout chasing cutthroats right up onto the bank.
Man, jeez.
It's, you catch this little 13-inch cutthroat, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose, and the water explodes, and your fish is on the bank, and you're like, "What the hell was that?"
Man, bull trout too. Bull trout
Yeah,
just look
that'd be-
wild.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. They're when you catch them in the river too, they're just powerful as anything.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
They're just they're like catching a lake trout a little bit. They just hunker down and
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
hug the bottom, and they go for some nice runs. But
Man, that's unreal.
yeah, hopefully get some. Maybe I think next winter I'm going down to Mexico,
Yeah.
hopefully for some bonefish again.
Oh
and-
man, yeah. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, yeah.
How'd you do?
Good. Yeah, I went down to Punta Allen a couple times and just sort of me and my brother-in-law go down there and
Yeah.
take our paddle boards and mess around down there.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty wicked.
Paddleboarding
Yeah.
for bonefish down in the salt.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a bit sketchy sometimes when you run into the saltwater crocodiles and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but
have you ran into one?
yeah.
Oh man, what happened? What was it? What happened there?
They're pretty chill. It just
Freaky.
it scares the crap out of you more than anything.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
They're
'Cause you-
usually just sunning themselves. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only paddleboard away so fast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. The
Oh,
barracudas
God.
are scarier though because they kind of sneak up on you.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just sitting there chilling,
Showing anything shiny you have.
and
on
then they
yourself.
just smack the
Oh,
crap out of it.
God.
Jesus. Yeah, no, I've heard that about barracuda too.
Yeah.
And then getting them off the fly is a whole other thing, right?
Yeah.
You usually just kind of cut your line, eh?
Yeah. Or you get some long
Long nose.
forceps. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we do ask a couple questions on the show. Usually, we ask every guest. They're called Mitchie's Fishies 5, and they're always the same questions. I
This
want to
is
ask you. Yeah, exactly. So I want to ask you a couple of those questions just to see what your
Sure.
response would be. What's your favorite fish in the world on the fly?
Got to be bonefish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How come?
They're just lightning fast, and it's
Powerful.
it's just I don't know. It's a cool experience. It's hunting. It's not like just casting at a riffle and hoping something comes up and rises.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get some decent sight fishing on some smaller creeks, but they're few and far between these days. And they don't run, 150 yards at
Yeah.
Yeah,
30
exactly.
miles an hour.
Exactly. 70 kilometers an hour. Exactly.
Bonefish is cool, man. I don't think anyone's ever said bonefish yet. I love that.
Yeah. No one has.
Maybe that sets up this next one. If you could fish anywhere in the world right now, given that, let's pretend it's the best season for fishing that fish, where would you go?
Well, I guess based on the last one, I have to say Andros.
Yeah?
Yeah, South Andros.
How come? What about there?
In January, there's not as many fish, but they're bigger and they're all kind of singles or doubles, and they're cruising on the flats, and it's just you're hunting big fish,
That's awesome, man.
and there's a lot of sharks in the water too, which makes it entertaining.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Sometimes,
Wicked.
sometimes you end up reeling some heads in, and
Oh, yeah?
yeah,
Oh my God.
That's so insane.
yeah, it's a pretty. Of all the trips I've done, that was probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
Andros is just another world.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
There's no one around, eh? So the pressure's like there's no pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's quite a few lodges down there, but still, it's such a massive fishery that you don't even.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you run into people on the way to and from as you go through the channels, but once you're out on the flats,
It's you.
you're by yourself. Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Remember that name.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. So Bears Lodge is one of them down there, and then South Andros.
Bears
both.
or bears?
Bears? B-A-I-R.
Yeah.
B-A-I-R. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's rad.
Cool.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, and good luck at West.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you have a Instagram channel or anything like that?
Yeah, it's at Fly Fisher without the I in Fisher.
Nice, right on. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thanks again so much.
Yeah, man.
And good luck.
Cheers. Thanks.
Chris,
Mitch,
welcome.
Chris,
Aldo,
Chris, welcome.
welcome.
we're in your store.
You are. It's great.
Chris, we had you on the show a long time ago.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
Did you know that's still the most listened to SoFly episode ever?
it's Chris.
That's insane to me.
It's your episode.
Fly design.
I still can't believe that one.
Oh, it's amazing.
That's cool. It's
Yeah.
great.
Listen to episode
Rec-
ever.
Record holder, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
It's awesome. So, Chris, I mean, you've been here all day. You've been hearing what we've been asking people, people's fly fishing goals for 2019. Season's a month away. You know, you've accomplished so much in your young age.
Yeah.
What do you want to do in 2019? Like, what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, you'd think that I would have been thinking about this all day. I've not given it a single ounce of thought.
Yeah.
Geez, 2019 goals. Head out west. I'd like to get at a big BC bow this year. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah.
Gonna do some Stillwater stuff out there. But
Oh, you're
you know
going
what?
to BC.
Yeah. Head out
We're
there in
recurring
June.
theme today.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's cool. Yeah, Go Fish BC podcast.
Seriously.
Yeah. More locally, I think it'd be more in line with Josh's thing. Like I think, aiming for like 25.
Yep.
Yeah, just a smidge below him.
Yeah.
And on a brown,
Yeah.
that'd be great.
That's rad.
When are you
Yeah.
going? When are you going at once?
I head out there for June. Was it 4th, 5th, something like that, for a competition.
That's rad.
Yeah, it should be a good time. Like excited.
What competition?
It's a Stillwater competition, just a small regional one-day event on Glimpse Lake.
Yeah.
Glimpse.
Glimpse Lake, yeah.
And it's just like bows in there.
Yeah, it's just outside Merritt, sort of below, between Kelowna and Merritt.
Yeah.
Should be
Cool.
a fun time.
That's rad.
Yeah, doing it with Buddy. Excited. Yeah.
That's rad.
You got any other trips coming up this year?
I have a couple actually. So
Ooh.
yeah, in I guess early May, head off to more local,
Yeah.
less exotic, fishing Canuck in Quebec
Nice.
for another competition, and then in October we've got nationals again at Canuck.
Is that with Colin?
Colin is the main organizer behind both those events actually. Yeah,
Nice, man.
he's taking the reins this year.
That's rad.
Awesome. Colin Huff a few episodes back.
Episode a few episodes ago.
Chris, did we have Mitchie's Fishies 5 when we were on the show?
No, definitely not.
Okay, we're gonna
we
ask
did
you
like
those in a
episode
bit.
2 or 3.
Yeah,
or
that's right.
something,
That was
right?
way back.
Yeah.
We'll ask you those in a little bit. That's for sure.
Colin was episode 33.
Episode 33, Colin Huff, organizing. You fish Canuck a bunch, though, eh?
It's where I learned fish.
No
Like,
way.
Like when I was, if the audience can imagine, this tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back, fishing off the dock, the family and stuff. Yeah. No, it's got a special place in my heart for sure.
Man, that's wild.
I can't.
So,
We're gonna go back there, Mitch.
Canuck?
Yeah.
So good.
It looks amazing.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've never fished Canuck.
It's so
No.
close to Ottawa.
I know.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an hour past
Yeah.
Ottawa plus a little bit of
Yeah.
dirt road driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah?
Like, yeah, it's Canada's. I think I have this fact right. Colin will probably correct me if I don't, but it's Canada's largest private nature reserve.
I think that's what Colin said on the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's insane. It's big, like end to end. I mean, mind you, these are dirt roads. You can't drive that fast, but
Yeah.
you're talking like, up to like an hour drive to cross that park. It's big.
Man,
Yeah.
that's wild. Hour drive across the park, jeez.
Yeah, you've got like tons of lakes. Very similar kind of terrain to Algonquin in a lot of
Yeah.
ways, and then a few rivers kind of dotted in there as well.
Yeah.
That's super.
And amazing fish, too. I remember seeing a picture of like a couple double headers. I've seen 2 bows in the net.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was on your channel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's
No,
so
killer.
rad.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing to stock up for this year? You've been tying like crazy?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been making a concerted effort at that this year for sure.
Yeah.
Tired of kind of trying refill boxes through the season.
Yeah.
It takes away from fishing time. So no, I've been tying tons. Yeah.
What are you
as
tying
usual.
up?
A lot of boring stuff for
Yeah.
me. Love
Like guidey competition
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like nothing really fancy and,
Yeah.
and crazy. Lots of basic Euro nymphs and lake flies and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Euro nymphs. I love that.
So
Yeah.
much fun.
I can't wait to go Euro nymphing this spring.
It's almost time.
It's almost there.
Almost.
It's so exciting.
35 days as of today, as of recording.
And here we go. It's going to be so good.
And then by the time this airs, it'll be 27.
Oh wow!
6,
April
26,
1st.
yeah,
April 1st.
April
This will-
1st,
yeah, this will
April
air
27th is the opener.
Yeah.
April 27th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Gonna be
Okay,
good.
I think that we want to. I think I want to Mitchie's Fishies you because I just realized
Yeah.
too the last question to Mitchie's Fishies is gonna be great because we never asked you it, but given that your episode was fly design and it's the most listened to, it's gonna be cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, well let's start with the first one then.
Sure.
What's your favorite fish and why?
I think favorite fish for me would probably again it's a cop out, but it's probably brown trout.
Yeah.
I've been very lucky in getting to fish for a lot of different species in the past, but it depends where you are. Like this isn't to say that rainbows or cutthroats or whatever else aren't technical fish or
Yeah.
aren't as demanding or fun to target. I would say like your typical brown trout, a lot of brown trout rivers minus maybe some more heavily stocked fisheries. Offer more selective fish, and it's just for me why I really get out of fly fishing is the puzzle aspect and being able to sort of crack a code. I think that's really, really cool. So for me, like if I could just fish a river with like super technical brown trout all the time, I'd be into that. That's
not a cop out either. A brown trout, I mean, that's great.
Yeah. What's not to love?
Yeah, exactly.
It's what we fish for the most.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
It's what I enjoy catching the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could fish, given that, let's pretend it's like the perfect time of year to go anywhere in the world. If you could go and fish, where would you go right now and why?
Right now, why? There's a lot of good ones out there for sure. I don't know. It'd probably be some kind of crazy saltwater destination or something weird. Jack's trip from a year back down South America, Dorado fishing, that'd be right up there. Like Seychelles, or actually one that's been really high on my list for a while is Exmouth in Australia.
Ooh.
So that's a really cool one where you get the opportunity to do some flats fishing and stuff, which Australia, a lot of people don't think of it when they think flats fishing, but it does have some good flats opportunities. But then also very close to that, like within a boat's ride from the launch, you have the option to do like offshore blue water. The opportunity for you're talking about tuna and wahoo, billfish, lots of cool stuff. So like Australia or South Pacific would be right up there for sure.
Man, Australia is definitely one of those. It's an interesting one because you don't really hear about that necessarily as a destination all the time,
it's got a lot of opportunity. Like say like the World Fly Fishing Championships this year are in Tasmania. That's all trout fishing, right? So there is a trout fishery in Australia. There is flats fishing to be had. They have freshwater fisheries with like the barramundi and stuff.
So gnarly,
Yeah,
we had a listener actually email about that. He's a fly fisher and he's got a cottage in Tasmania. He was telling us like how he goes up there all the time and trout fishing is amazing and like all that stuff.
Also, the Murray cod seems to be enjoying some media sensation this year.
What a cool
for some reason,
fish, though.
They are, Neat one.
So aggressive.
They're almost like a grouper or something, or just like a giant bass, like a largemouth bass or something.
Yeah.
They're so cool.
So cool
looking. Okay, number 3. What is your best fishing memory?
Best fishing memory. I got a chance to go to the Restigouche a couple years ago for my first time.
Nice.
That would have to rank right up there. The whole trip, really, but if you were to pick a specific moment, there was my second day there. Gone to my first real salmon, real bright, fresh salmon, which was a 32-pound fish. So trophy caliber fish. Awesome experience. But even more memorable than that, on my second last day, managed to get into another fish that was in around the 30 mark, and came on if you've seen some of my flies, you might know that I like to tie classic salmon patterns. A good bit. And so I was fishing a little mixed wing silver doctor fly, so a sort of a more modern rendition of classic pattern, but actually managed to swing up this again trophy sized fish on that fly. That was a really cool one for sure.
Man,
there's some amazing. Those were some amazing fish. I remember that. Sending our pic, I was like, damn.
I know.
First time on the river too.
I was jealous of me.
Did you? And you got the first salmon of the year, 2 years in a row.
2 years running
on the Restigouche.
Like a bright salmon, fresh salmon.
Right.
The Celts caught before that, but if you're talking about fish straight from the sea, then
Nice.
God dang, man. It looks like such an amazing region.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Like the pictures and stuff. It's even just to hang out in the outdoors there. It's just a beautiful area.
Yeah. What you don't get a sense of is really how close all that is to really easy access in terms of the travel from Toronto to get there. It's a flight out to Bathurst, a small town in New Brunswick, and then from there it's about an hour and a half drive up to the camp. But it's all along a highway, and the camp is literally right off the highway. It's right roadside, and then you're just looking out onto the river. And it's gorgeous, and you don't feel like you're that close to anything. It's really an easy trip out there, and that river in particular is just awesome. Giant river. It's a legendary trophy fishery, but you're talking about a river that's in places 800 feet plus wide. So if you like to cast and like to cast big rods, you just launch bombs and you just let lines fly. There's no limit to it. It's really fun.
But you are secluded once you're there. It's there's nothing really really around, right?
And the interesting thing about the Restigouche is that both fortunately and unfortunately, it is a private access river where you have to, like, anybody can access the river. If you want to paddle it, you want to swim in it, whatever, you can do that. But to fish in it, you need to own fishing rights or have permission from somebody who does have those rights to fish it. And those rights are largely owned by the lodges, right? So in the way that it's unfortunate, the public can't really access it, and it's sort of a lost opportunity for a lot of folks. In the positive side of things, it has kept that river and a few other rivers like it in very pristine condition because, again, because of how tightly it's managed, you see almost no poaching or very little poaching. And very low pressure overall. So you get to maintain this classic, like, really, really well-kept river.
Brad?
Oh, man, it sounds amazing. Okay, number 4. Why do you fly fish?
Why fly fish?
Why fly fish?
At all.
Why do I fly fish? I ask myself all the time. Well, I mean, I don't strictly fly fish, for one, right? So, I mean, I do pick up a float rod. I have, gear rods. I'm not opposed to using them. I tend to prefer to fly fish, for sure. I love casting, for one. I think that's a big part of it for me. I just like casting. It's fun. If you're having a slow day, it's still, you're active, you're doing something. It's something you can constantly be working on. That's a really fun aspect. And in the areas I fish most, like, I do try and spend the majority of my year targeting trout. Just that's what I like. And a lot of time fly fishing actually is the more productive method in that case. Where, like, if you're gonna fly fish for bass or something, like, it's tons of fun. It can be deadly. It can be way more productive than other kinds of fishing, but you do that more because you like it. And I do fly fish for bass too, but if you're getting into trout fishing, sometimes it is the most productive way to go. I like catching fish at the end of the day too. So there's part of that. Don't really know why I first got into it, but here we are, and no complaints.
I guess it was like, well, you first got into it because you were fishing, and then you just picked up a fly rod.
Exactly, which I think a lot of people do. It's just sort of natural progression. It's Yilma high five. I'm not entirely sure why, but I couldn't resist.
Who knows?
Who knows what
he's a mysterious character.
So, this is the 5th Mitchie's Fishies 5, and this one is Yilma's.
Oh, he's shopping.
He's shopping. Sorry, it's distracting me. He's like over there, like looking at hats, like he's fixing inventory.
He like looked at a bag. He's like, "What is this?" It's a bag. It's a bag.
It's a bag. All right, number 5, Chris. What fly pattern represents you best, and why?
If you were,
if Chris was a fly,
if Chris was a fly,
In terms of rods,
what fly would he be?
What fly would I be? Well, I feel like I'm, taller, hair's a little messy and stuff. So woolly bugger would look maybe a little bit like me.
Right.
And if you plot me anywhere in the world and said, what fly do you want to fish? And, if you're stuck with one fly, sort of, desert island style, that'd probably be it, honestly.
So you're a woolly bugger?
You're a woolly bugger? You and Rob are both woolly buggers?
I'm a bugger, yeah.
Rob's a woolly bugger, too.
Alex is like, I'm a woolly bugger.
Oh, yeah. We're all buggers.
You guys are all buggers, man. That's a cool answer.
You just can't go wrong. Like, it's a classic pattern for a reason. It might be the most boring answer you can think of, but at the end of the day, like, if you want fly catches fish, you want one that's...
And also, like, one that represents you as an angler, because you're a versatile angler.
Yeah. Exactly.
Catch a lot of fish.
I love it. I love it. You're a woolly bugger, man. That's crazy. Okay, well, I dig it.
There you go.
Everybody here is a woolly bugger at
Gotta
Drift.
find some new questions, some more exciting ones.
We're all woolly buggers at heart here.
I think Drift Outfitter, Drift Outfitters is like the woolly bugger. You're a nymph? Princestone nymph, okay.
Princestone nymph doesn't exist, but sure. Yeah, cool.
We also didn't ask you, Yelma.
Yeah.
Prince
nymph.
That's what.
You wish you were Prince nymph.
Yeah. What fly would Yelma be? Probably the...
Whatever one doesn't work.
I was just gonna say
like a bee, like in Canadian Tire, you buy those the bumblebees.
Yeah.
That's what he is.
Super detailed, like deer hair bumblebee. Yeah, that's Yelma. Awesome, man. Thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for coming on, Chris.
For having me again.
Excited to go fishing with you this year for sure.
Same here.
And we'll have, if you're down, we'd love to have you on the show again too. Like
maybe recap your competitive season.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how it goes.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
What, Yelma?
When are you back?
When am I back?
From where?
From where? I've got a few.
The one BC.
The BC one, I'm back. It's just a one-day thing, as I say, so I'll be back the next week, like June 10th or something.
Oh, we'll
gonna
have
take
to
an
hear-
extra day and do a little
Have
fishing
to
out
hear
there.
all about it for
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, we'll have you on. Thanks, man, for coming
Thanks,
on.
Chris.
Good. Thanks for having
Yeah.
me, as always.
Thanks for having us in the shop.
Yeah.
Anytime. It's good. It's fun.
Well, that was a fun day at Drift Outfitters.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was cool to talk to people coming in the shop. We heard a lot about upcoming seasons. Everybody's gearing up and getting ready for some cool trips. BC is going to be like, we heard a lot of BC today.
We did.
Josh, Jesse,
3 BCs.
Chris.
3 BCs.
Yeah. Made some new friends.
Made some old friends.
Had some laughs.
Cool day. It was cool listening to everybody's like hopes and dreams for the season. I like Rob's, the Summer of Bass. It's kinda
Summer of
fun.
Bass is cool. I think we got to try to do this little Summer of Bass.
Yeah. So Yilma, 20-inch brown. That's
20-inch
the goal.
brown. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then Rob's Cottage for bass.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Oh, and Mitch's Cottage for bass.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
true. Oh, and Texas for redfish.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, redfish is going to be great. Oh my God, I just remembered that. That's going to be so sick.
Be great.
It'd be so sick.
You guys gonna do any shopping while we're here?
Yeah, I might pick up a couple things actually. Yeah.
I already bought something.
Hilma's already been
Yeah,
doing his
he-
shopping
Yeah, yeah.
the whole day
that
long.
looks good on you.
He's ready for the spring of 2019. Where can we find Drift Outfitters on social media?
You can find them at drift_outfitters.
Yeah.
On Instagram. You can
Yeah.
find them at driftoutfitters.com.
Yeah.
And then you can find them on Facebook too. They do a lot of posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
Drift Outfitters and Fly Shop.
Come on down to the shop, gear up, get ready for the season.
Queen Street East.
Talk to Chris, talk to Jack, talk to Rob.
Talk to Alex.
Yeah.
Talk to Alex when he's here.
Talk to everybody, man. Come on
Yeah.
down and get ready.
Talk to Gab. Gab's here still, too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talk
yeah,
to
yeah.
Gab when he's in.
He's here, yeah.
And you can find us, although where?
You can find us at the SoFly Crew on Instagram. You can find us at SoFly Fishing Podcast on
SoFly
Sound-
Fishing Podcast. Oh, yeah.
on SoundCloud and
Spotify,
and Spotify, iTunes,
Yeah.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
SoFly.ca, of course, you can find easiest place to find all of our
Yeah.
stuff. And you can actually reach out to us on from SoFly.ca, which is great.
SoFlyCrew@gmail.com.
The SoFly Crew at gmail.com.
Hit us up with your preparations and stories and trips coming up. Email us. Send us some stories. We will talk about them on the air.
Yeah, we'd love to do that. We've done that before, and we'd love to do it again.
We're also doing more on YouTube and Vimeo, so check that stuff out. Again, like Aldo said, it's on our site.
And like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying,
Like,
baby?
comment,
You know?
subscribe.
No.
Yeah, you get shawarmas.
No.
Thanks for so much for everybody for listening. That's it for me, Mitch, Aldo,
Bye, everybody. Thank you. Yeah.
Ilma.
This is Yoma signing off.
Thanks for listening. Peace.